and to let you know that I tried really hard not to sound angry. I may not have succeeded, but what can I say? My name is Dottie Ricks. I'm from Graniteville, Vermont. I'm a public school teacher and a single parent. I worked on your campaign last year, Mr. Welch, for a month and a half. Every Wednesday I drove to Montpelier from 5 to 8. I called all over the state in support of your campaign. I wrote letters to the editor. My daughter and I were at every honk and wave in Barre. In fact, sometimes we were the honk and wave. The one that you went to, all the signs, and my daughter and I were at a different place because I'm notorious for messing up places. In fact, I just came from Kellogg Hubbard because I thought that's where we were. So I apologize for being late. I did both focused and general lit drops, and on election day I took a personal day and worked as a counter for Get Out the Vote. And that included the Democratic Party. I worked mornings before school, after school, and on weekends. And I did that as an act of faith because I knew very little about you and very little about what you stood for. What I did know was that as badly as I wanted to vote for a female candidate, I could in no good conscience vote for a pro-military person and a Republican. I could not see them filling our lone congressional seat. So consequently, as an anti-war activist, I worked as hard as I could on your campaign because I expected that you would work as hard as you could to end the war. I am also a member of Military Families Speak Out. In October of 2004, my husband, along with his group of 50-plus-year-olds, were activated to Iraq. In July of 2005, at the end of a convoy of which he was a member, his Humvee was struck by a shoulder-launched rocket. It tumbled 2 times, 3 times. The driver was able to right it before the second rocket came to destroy them, and they had about 10 seconds to get out of the way of that launch. He survived the attack, as did the other 3 people in the vehicle, but my husband did not come back. The man that I married died over there. He had a brilliant mind. He could remember every battle that took place in every war that ever happened. You cannot carry on a conversation with him. You talk to him and he spaces out. He has horrendous headaches. He has no memory left. But what is saddest about this to me is that he thinks that he is all right. He thinks there's nothing wrong with him. He has a master's degree in business management. He has not worked in the 2 years since he has been back. And I want it to be very clear that I'm not telling you this for sympathy or for help for myself, because in many ways I'm very fortunate. There are hundreds of people in Vermont that are not as fortunate as me, that have no health insurance, that are unable to deal with the problems of military vets coming back. There are thousands in the United States that suffer more than I suffer. And that's why I am here. I'm here because I believe that nobody should have to go through what I and my family have had to go through. But above and beyond what's happened to my husband and myself, who are adults, on top of all of this, my teenage daughter that helped work on your campaign has been diagnosed with anorexia nervosa. And if you don't know about anorexia, it is a coping disease. And the victims use it to control the only thing that they can possibly control, and that's their dietary intake. So I am here to emphasize that families are being destroyed, and they are being destroyed so that a wealthy group of people can get wealthier. And I am here because I want you to look me in the face as my representative, and I want you to put a personal price on the cost of this war. At a very basic level, I need to bring this war home to you. Because when you and our other two representatives vote continued funding for this war and go on, or vote against it and go on about your business as if it's just another day, I feel like you're telling me that you're too busy or you have too many other priorities to deal with the war and to bring it to an end. And I feel like you're telling me that the sacrifices that my family and thousands of people have made are worth nothing, and that we have to continue making them because you haven't the courage as a collective group to bring this to an end. And I'm going to say this as kindly as I can because I honestly believe that you are a kind person. And what I want you to do is look me in the eye and tell me that you can't end this war or you won't end this war, and I want to know why. And sending me some staff-generated form, email letter that doesn't even address my issues won't cut it. I need you to look me in the eye and tell me. And the reason is because I didn't stand outside in the cold at 7 o'clock in the morning waving signs at people I didn't even know for a candidate I didn't even know to elect someone that would not end this war. And just to let you know, I appreciate that you have a lot of fine young people that work for you. I have at least 5 fine young people that are not in this nice warm room in Vermont this afternoon. They are either in Iraq or they are preparing to go to Iraq. And the only difference between them and your fine young people is class and economic opportunity. And I want you to know that most of us are smart enough to figure that out. Most of us recognize that there is a de facto draft of working class kids and families, and those billions of dollars that are disappearing down the black holes of fraudulent contractors' pockets that Congress continues to appropriate, we know are going to fill the pockets of the filthy rich. And what we also know is not only is it filling their pockets, but it's filling their pockets at the expense of the lives of our families and loved ones. And that, Mr. Welch, is reprehensible. I'm sorry, I'm almost done. People like me cannot allow you to get on with your life, to vote and get on with your life, because we cannot get on with our lives. Our lives are changed forever and irrevocably. And we need someone that will be as passionate about ending the war as we are. And we need you to be as passionate about ending the war as we are. And what I want you to do is send your fine young people door to door in the House, knocking on Republicans' doors, knocking on weak Democrat and independent doors. And I want those kids to tell them that we are tired of our families and our loved ones and friends being killed and our families being wrecked. And come election day, our vote is our voice. And we will vote them out of office. And we need you leading the march to peace. Thank you.